Some people walk into your life for only a few minutes, yet they leave a mark that lasts forever. You never know when one small act of kindness could become the reason someone keeps believing in people. This is the story of a stranger who chose compassion over convenience, and how one simple decision changed more than one life. Before we begin, if stories about kindness and hope inspire you, please subscribe to Kindness Library, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. Every kind word helps this community grow, and together we can remind the world that kindness still matters. It was a cold Friday evening in Chicago. The sky had already turned dark, and people hurried home after work. Most of them were too busy to notice the young woman sitting quietly on a bench outside a grocery store. Her name was Emily. She held a small backpack and looked exhausted. Her eyes were red from crying, but she tried not to let anyone notice. She had just lost her job that morning, and the little money she had was gone after paying rent. She had no family nearby and didn't know what to do next. As shoppers walked past her, many glanced her way but kept moving. Some assumed she was asking for money. Others simply avoided eye contact. About 20 minutes later, an older man named Robert came out of the store carrying 2 grocery bags. He noticed Emily staring at the ground. Instead of walking away, he stopped. "Are you okay?" he asked gently. Emily forced a smile. "I'll be fine," she replied. Robert could tell she didn't believe her own words. He sat on the other end of the bench. "You don't have to tell me everything," he said. "But sometimes talking helps." For a moment, Emily stayed silent. Then the tears she had been holding back finally came. She told Robert about losing her job, about feeling alone, and about being afraid she wouldn't have enough money to eat next week. Robert listened without interrupting. When she finished, he didn't give a speech or offer empty promises. Instead, he reached into one of his grocery bags and handed her a loaf of bread, some fruit, milk, soup, and a few other essentials. "I was buying these for myself," he said with a smile. "But I think you need them more tonight." Emily couldn't believe it. "I can't take your groceries." Robert laughed softly. "You can. Tomorrow I'll buy more." She thanked him over and over. Then Robert reached into his wallet and pulled out a small business card. "My friend owns a bookstore," he said. "They're looking for someone dependable. I can't promise anything, but I can promise he'll listen." Emily carefully placed the card inside her backpack like it was something priceless. The next Monday, she visited the bookstore. The owner greeted her warmly. "I've known Robert for 30 years, he said. "If he believes in someone, I want to meet them." After a short interview, Emily was hired. The job wasn't perfect, but it gave her a fresh start. Weeks turned into months. Emily worked hard. Customers loved her friendly smile and patience. Eventually, she became the store manager. Life slowly became stable again. But she never forgot the man who had sat beside her on that cold evening. One afternoon, she visited the same grocery store, hoping she might see him again. Instead, she learned something surprising. Robert volunteered every weekend at a local community center, helping families who were struggling. Emily decided to visit. When Robert saw her walk through the door, he smiled immediately. "I knew you'd be okay," he said. Emily hugged him tightly. "No," she replied. "You helped make sure I would be." From that day forward, Emily joined him every Saturday. Together they packed food boxes, served warm meals, and listened to people who simply needed someone to care. One winter morning, a teenage boy arrived at the community center wearing only a thin jacket. He looked embarrassed to ask for help. Emily remembered exactly how that felt. She welcomed him with a smile, offered him breakfast, and found him a warm coat. Before leaving, the boy quietly said, "Thank you for treating me like a person." Those words stayed with Emily all day. She realized kindness isn't always about money. Sometimes it's about making someone feel seen. Years passed. Robert grew older and eventually retired from volunteering. Emily took over organizing the community programs. She created scholarship funds, food drives, and job workshops for people starting over after difficult times. Every new volunteer heard the same message. Never underestimate a small act of kindness, she would say. You may forget it tomorrow, but the person receiving it could remember it forever. One evening, while locking up the community center, Emily noticed a handwritten envelope waiting on her desk. Inside was a short letter. It read, "You probably don't remember me. I was the teenager you helped years ago with breakfast and a winter coat. Today I graduated from college. I now work as a teacher. Every year I tell my students that one stranger believed in me before I believed in myself. Thank you for changing my future." Emily wiped away tears. She looked toward the empty volunteer room where Robert had spent so many Saturdays helping others. His kindness had never stopped. It had simply spread from one heart to another. That is how kindness works. It moves quietly. It asks for nothing. It grows in places we may never see. Every smile, every encouraging word, every helping hand has the power to create another story that continues long after we're gone. Maybe today you'll meet someone carrying a burden you cannot see. Maybe your patience, your compassion, or even a simple conversation will become the turning point in their life. The world doesn't change only through big moments. It changes through ordinary people choosing kindness when no one is watching. And perhaps the greatest gift we can ever give another person is the reminder that they are not alone. If this story touched your heart, remember to share kindness wherever you go. A single act of compassion can start a chain of hope that reaches people you'll never meet. Thank you for spending this time with Kindness Library. Until next time, keep believing in kindness, because even the smallest act can change a life forever.